want to take a few minutes today while Ava is napping and talk through this really cool at-home speech therapy program that we are doing. Our speech therapist suggested this to us, and I think it's a great idea. For those of you who don't know, I actually have a teaching background. I spent several years teaching preschool, and one of the big things they talk about in language development is just straight exposure to not only literature, so lots of books, but also lots of words. So the more you can talk to your baby, the more you can reach your baby, it's going to help them out a lot. This is slightly a different point than speech, but for literacy skills especially. So the more exposure they get to reading, the more they're going to read. So this is a similar kind of idea, except for with speech. For those of you who have been following the vlog, you know that Ava was born with a cleft palate. Now, with the cleft palate, because it's so open in your mouth to your nasal passageway, you can't close off that space to make sounds in the same way that you or I can. So before her surgery, there was a bunch of sounds that she couldn't make. Now she has had the surgery, and so she's playing a little bit of catch up, right? So sounds that other babies have been experimenting with their whole first year of life, Ava just hasn't been able to do. So now that she can physically do it, my job is to try to basically get her to practice them and get more familiar with them and be excited to try those different sounds. So like I was saying, our speech therapist gave us this really awesome idea to do at home, and we've been doing our best to implement it, and I wanted to share it with you because I think that it's a really, really great idea. So it's pretty simple. Basically, there are 6 consonants: P, B, T, D, K, and G. And what they want you to do is take one of those consonants a week and just focus on it. So you want to, for example, for the P week, be making the sound P as much as possible, so the pa sound. So what they did do for us is they gave us links to an online resource that has a bunch of P words. And we've got a link to those that I'll put in the bottom. What I did is I just printed it out with my color printer and I laminated it, because then Ava can handle it, she can point to it, she can move it, and then I'm not as worried about her crinkling it up. And what you do is at morning and at night, you go through and you point to the pictures and you say the words with her. So pants, party, pudding, etc. So that's the first step, is going through these words twice a day for that first week. Now, other things that you can do to enhance this. So I know we all do different things. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I do have a little bit more time with Ava during the day. But if you're working and that's all you have time for, like, it's a really small amount of time in your day in order to add that to your schedule. But because I'm home with Ava, I've been trying to incorporate it in other ways. So the first couple weeks I went to the library once a week and I scoured the picture book section for books that went with that consonant. And I have mixed feelings about it because, one, if you can find good books that repeat those consonants, that's absolutely awesome, and I definitely think it enhanced our consonant focus. But what I found is that it can be very difficult to find things that repeat that sound. For example, you could have a book with a lot of P's in the title, like Perfectly Percy, I think was one, Piggies was one, Piggy Pie Po. Now, only some of those, when you'd go through and read it, would have that P sound over and over, pa, 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 which is really your goal, right, with this exercise. So, like I said, I have mixed feelings. I feel like I found some that were really, really good and awesome. And then some, like, by the time I got home and actually read it out loud, I kind of realized that it didn't accomplish the goal that I had. Not that it wasn't a good book, not that there's anything wrong with reading extra books to your kid, totally other benefits, but for this purpose, I did find it a little hard to do. Now, one of my long-term goals is to get a website up and running with an actual written blog so that I can do things like create a resource with more of those P-books that work for this purpose. However, I don't know when that's going to happen, if I'm completely honest. So I will do what I can to grab resources for you. Otherwise, you could do the exact same thing that I was doing, where you go to the library and just try to like skim the book titles and see what you can get for that consonant that week. I was really good at it the first couple weeks, and then the next couple weeks not as good, and there's weeks that I'm better at it than others, but that is another way that you can enhance the consonant bombardment that we're trying to achieve. The last thing that you can do that's really simple, so I like to sing to Ava. I like to sing preschool songs. I like to sing songs on the radio. Just take the consonant sound and replace the words. So for example, you could do like twinkle twinkle little star, pa 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 pa, and just do the consonants instead of the words. And you could do that throughout your day, or your evening or your morning, whatever time you have with the kiddo. And that would be another way to really easily incorporate the consonant sounds. So like I said, there are 6 consonants. I will put it in the vlog notes and underneath in the description. But it is a 12-week program with 6 consonants. So you do the order, the P, B, T, D, K, G, and then you go back to the beginning and repeat it for that second 6 weeks. The idea, again, is to just bombard them with these sounds. And what I have found with Ava is that, especially at first, she didn't repeat, for example, when we did B's, she didn't start doing the ba, ba, ba until maybe a week and a half afterwards. So don't be discouraged if the kiddo doesn't repeat after you right away. It might take them some time because they're just really absorbing everything that you're throwing at them, and then you might see it later. But like I said, especially if you have kids that are working on new sounds, this is a great program, and I've been really impressed with it. And I don't know if it's my teaching background where I'm kind of like nerdy excited about it, or if like you will also enjoy it and be excited about it, but I totally am into it, so I highly recommend it. Like I said, I gotta give credit to our speech therapist. I think she's fantastic. I purposely don't name them by name, just because I try not to give location cues for where we are located in our vlogs or our Instagram, but like Our Lady is wonderful. So thank you to her if she is watching. So I think that's all I have for today. Like I said, I'll put these printouts in the links below so that you can get to them. Highly recommend laminating them. If you don't have a laminator at home, I know in several places that I've lived, it's Lakeshore Learning Store will have a laminator there that you can pay to use, and it's really cheap. It's like a quarter or 10 cents or something like per foot. So like it would be probably at most $1 to run those through the laminator, and then you have them and you don't have to worry about your kiddo kind of destroying it. It's either that or printing it out a lot as soon as they start crunching it up. So totally up to you. And I also like laminating things, so I recommend the lamination. So thanks for listening. I hope this was informative and helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye.